Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make Skittles Starburst ice cream. This ice cream is fruity, rich, creamy, and so delicious. Halloween is right around the corner, and this is a great way to use Halloween candy. And stay tuned because I'll be posting more videos using Halloween candy. So let's get started. First, sort out all the Skittles and Starbursts by color. You can choose to do only Starbursts or only Skittles or a mixture of both. Weigh each one and you should have 100 grams or 3.5 ounces of each, so add more or remove any if needed. Place each of them into a small heat-proof bowl. Small jars are best. Add 1 teaspoon of water to each one. Then you need to melt them. You can do that in the microwave. Just heat each one individually for 20 to 30 seconds at a time and stir after each burst until completely melted. Or if you don't have a microwave like me, my microwave broke, then add each one into a large shallow pan filled with about 1 to 2 inches of water and heat it over medium to high heat until the water is simmering but not boiling. Once it's simmering, turn the heat down to medium-low to keep it at a steady simmer, and heat them until they're completely melted. Stirring each one occasionally to evenly distribute the heat, you can take them out of the water and hold it with a towel to make it easier. And use a different spoon for each color. Whenever I'm not using the spoon, I put it down on a sheet of parchment paper so it doesn't stick to anything. And the Skittles will not completely melt, it will still have lumps, but that's totally fine. Once they're all melted, keep them on the heat so they don't cool and harden. I'm just moving it to a different burner. And next we'll work on the ice cream base. Into a large saucepan, add in the whole milk and heavy cream, and heat it on the stove over medium-high heat until it just starts to boil. Meanwhile, in a large bowl, add in the egg yolks and sugar. This isn't a lot of sugar because there's plenty of sugar in the candies. And whisk it vigorously for a minute until it lightens in color. Once the milk mixture starts to boil, remove it from the heat. Add a small amount of the hot mixture into the egg and sugar mixture to temper the eggs. And slowly pour in the rest while whisking constantly. Add in a bit of salt and whisk to combine. Pour the mixture into the saucepan. Wash and dry the mixing bowl and place a fine sieve on top of it. Then return the mixture to the stove over medium heat and heat stirring constantly until it gets between 170 and 180 degrees, which doesn't take long. If you heat it too hot, the eggs will start to scramble, which you don't want. So once it's up to temperature, remove it from the heat. Pour it through the fine sieve into the bowl to strain out any small bits of eggs that may have scrambled. Divide the mixture evenly between 6 separate bowls. Add a few spoonfuls into the melted candy mixture and mix to combine. This thins it out a little to make it easier to mix into the rest of the mixture. And pour it into one of the bowls. Repeat that for the rest of the colors. And if you want it completely smooth, you can pour the mixture through a fine sieve to get rid of the lumps. And mix until combined. Place a quart-sized Ziploc bag into a cup, turning the top part inside out. Pour one of the ice cream base colors into it. Press out the excess air and seal the bag. Repeat that for the rest of them. And place them into the fridge for at least 3 hours until they're well chilled. You can even leave them in overnight like I'm doing. To freeze them into ice cream, take a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. Add a bunch of ice into the bag. And sprinkle a generous amount of salt into it. The salt makes the ice even colder, which helps the ice cream to freeze. Place 1 or 2 of the bags of ice cream into the bag of ice, making sure it's tightly sealed. Press out most but not all of the excess air, and seal the bag. Then shake the bag continuously for 5 to 10 minutes until the ice cream base is somewhat frozen and a little stiffer. After shaking for 5 to 10 minutes, remove the ice cream from the bag. Dry it off quickly and place it into the freezer for 1 to 2 hours until it's a little more frozen. Then repeat that process for the rest of the ice cream flavors, adding more ice and salt into the bag if needed. And you can place 2 ice cream flavors into the bag, but don't add more than 2. I have my younger siblings helping me with the rest of the flavors so it can get done quicker. And if the bag is too cold on your hands, you can hold it with a towel. Then remove them from the bag. Dry them off quickly and place them into the freezer for 1 to 2 hours. And whatever container you're using to store the ice cream in, place them into the freezer to let them get nice and cold so the ice cream doesn't melt as quickly when you're adding it into the container. After letting them freeze for 1 to 2 hours, remove them from the freezer and rub them to soften them slightly. Push the ice cream down to the bottom of the bag and cut off the corner from each of the bags. Then squeeze each flavor randomly into the frozen containers, working quickly because the ice cream melts very fast. You can even squeeze multiple flavors at once. And if you like, you can keep all the flavors in separate containers so you can choose the flavor that you like. Once they're all in the container, place the lid on top and immediately place it into the freezer and let them freeze for at least 4 hours or overnight until they're frozen solid. And once it's frozen, you can scoop it up and serve. And it is absolutely delicious. And that's how to make Skittles Starburst ice cream. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a like, and check out my channel for many more videos, and subscribe to my channel for more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.